Devs are the wizards. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With a scum. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the VR CruCast episode 2 for 2023. Pretty proud of making the second week in a row. It's quite impressive. How you doing, boys? How is everyone? You all good?
What's up?
What's up?
Yo.
The thumbs.
I feel a little slighted. I didn't get a Nintendo New York shirt from MASH. I guess he wasn't really thinking of me.
Are you like? I didn't know you were a huge Nintendo fan. Or I would have got you
I'm
one.
just joking. No, I'm joking.
you
If
got
they
a
had
hat?
like an Elden, if they had like an Elden Ring store or like a World of Warcraft store, I absolutely would have gotten you something.
It's just the proof, MASH, that you do have a heart of gold. You are such a good guy.
Dude,
So.
MASH is the best. Hey, everybody. I wasn't here last week. I'm so excited to be back here this week. I show up in the chat. MASH Daddy Cool is like, oh, by the way, Alex, I was at the Nintendo store in New York and I got you something.
Can we have a
like,
look at it?
what a
Oh, my wife-
sweetheart.
Yeah, hang on. I gotta go get it. Hang on.
Yeah. So, Eric is amazing, dude. His wife, Stephanie, is also super amazing. And I'm pretty sure she's the catalyst here for making this incredible piece of merchandise happen for me.
Mrs. Mash.
Mrs. MASH.
Oh, that's
Look
sick.
at-
Awesome.
That
Boom.
is sick.
Dude, I'm going to be rocking that thing. Thank you, bro. MASH Daddy Cool, ladies and gentlemen.
That is awesome. That
That was just. It was you. You know. It was. I was like. Actually, I told you it was my wife.
Yeah, that's
My wife is awesome. That's what helps.
better half is what they call those.
yeah.
That's
It's your
right.
better half.
But GT, you went to the Nintendo store in New York. It's a freaking cool place, right? It's like three stories of Nintendo.
The best bit about it is they have like a Nintendo history section, don't they, of every console they've ever released.
Wow.
And with I think there's games and controllers. It's all there in like a double-sided stand, glass stand, and yeah, it's fucking insane. Just to swear I can, it was insane. Like for me personally, because most of them I haven't got them anymore, but I've held them and used them in the past or owned them. Yeah, it was amazing. So
It was dope.
I mean, even the bags you get are freaking like kick ass. They had a Link one, but I didn't get it. I got the Nintendo.
yeah,
New
GT and I
York
both
one.
have that Link one, and like we can't bring ourselves to throw it away. It's because we're
I know.
hardcore fans.
Where is it?
It's like super nice.
My bag.
Yeah.
It was-
They also have a Game Boy in there that basically had a bomb dropped on it in like the Persian Gulf War or something like
oh
that.
yeah, that's right.
Did they
What?
really?
And it still
I didn't
works.
see that.
It's on in
Wow.
there. It's like the
Mm.
plastic is like melted off the sides, and there's like Tetris rolling on it. It's like holy crap.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
They don't make them
true.
like they used to.
Nope.
I think Xbox just ruined everyone's like trust in hardware, didn't it? Really?
Oh, yeah.
360, dude.
The 360 Red Ring of Death.
Oh my god.
Mm.
You'd
I
be
had
like,
one of those.
yeah, I think everyone had a red ring. Red ring. Everyone's ring.
Red rum.
Everyone's ring has been red at some point. Anyway, let's do some hellos to everyone who's here. So we've got Wes and Roots from Virtual Strangers. How you doing, boys? You good?
Doing well, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm very tired, but extremely happy. So that's good. That's good. It's been a good day. Next up, we've got Alex and Skiva from Between Realities. How you doing?
Yo,
How are you?
he just said how he is.
I'm good.
He's extremely happy, but
He's tired and he's
Okay.
happy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
tired.
I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're happy. I'm
I am.
happy too.
I'm not usually like really
Happy to be here.
but yeah, I'm pretty.
Well,
happy.
but somebody has a PlayStation VR too, so kind of
Oh,
hard
yeah.
not to be
Yeah, I
happy
know,
when you have
right?
one of
What are you
those.
talking about?
I'd be miserable. If
It's under embargo.
yeah. You can't even say the name.
No, that's right. Next up, we got Eric from QTC Gamer. How you doing, dude?
What is up, fellas? I just love this part of the day, man. I just love getting in here and talking to all you guys and seeing everybody's happy faces. I miss you guys every week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could send you a virtual hug.
Oh, definitely.
I love
Let's
your
do it in person
background.
soon.
I love your background.
Yeah, it's growing, man.
it's
growing.
very impressive.
It's growing. I can't wait to add my PlayStation VR 2 to the collection. I don't think I'll be getting. And there's another one that dropped today. We'll talk about. I don't know if I'll be getting that one. But
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. You're gonna get it.
Dude, I want
Shenanigans.
that thing, man.
if I gotta buy it, I'm not kidding. I don't want to. I don't want to jump
No.
into it too soon.
We
But
do
yeah.
need to talk about Bigscreen Beyond. Next up, who's going to help us talk about Bigscreen Beyond is sadly it's Bradley. How you doing, sir?
Hi, I'm doing
I'm doing
okay.
He's doing all right.
We're good.
I'm doing all right.
He's just in the crosshairs of some of the biggest people in VR right now.
He
It's fine.
really is.
Such a troublemaker. Such a troublemaker.
I'm sorry.
Don't make him cry. He's sensitive. And next up,
It'll
we've
be the
got
first time this week, so it's
we've-
fine.
We've got Eddie Lee from Funktronic Labs. How you doing, sir?
Good, good. Thank you for having me here. Very
Dude.
excited to be here.
Yeah, dude. Like we some of us have played your game. I know a lot of people have seen trailers for your game, the Light Brigade. So yeah, we just wanted to get you on to chat about. I don't know, dude. The basically development process. You know what you wanted players to feel when they played this game. And I personally want to know about the graphical art style. I really enjoyed that side of it. And I don't know if you want to dive into talking about Light Brigade now, boys. We can do if you want to, because I know Wes has played it, and I knew his reactions before he played it. Like, what did you think of the game, Wes, the Light Brigade? How would you describe it, even?
Well, I mean, the way everyone who seems to watch the trailer wants to describe it is In Death Unchained, but with guns. And I can see that to an extent because the addiction is very similar to that addiction you get when you start playing in Death. But that's an oversimplification, right? Because there's so much more to how you progress your character, progress your weapons. It's a lot more nuanced on that end than a game like In Death is. And beyond that, I really love how they, with regards to the combat specifically, how they blend realism and fantasy, right? Because the guns are all real guns. They have very realistic action, sounds, and so on. But then you can augment them with magic, which just kind of, I mean, I can't think of another game that does anything like that.
No,
Super
so
cool, man.
yeah, talk to us, Eddie. What is the premise of the Light Brigade?
It's the premise started off like back then when we first conceived the idea about 4 years ago. I was playing a lot of Dark Souls, a lot of shooters, a lot of roguelikes, and it's kind of like this mashup, a lot of interests that I was kind of engaged in. And I got really deep into the Dark Souls like vibe, the whole storytelling and the whole dark fantasy element. It was so compelling to me. With the Light Brigade, just like how Dark Souls was kind of a dark fantasy interpretation of like medieval times, we wanted to do like a dark fantasy interpretation of like historical World War I era.
Yes.
So you had a lot of like realistic, like I really loved, like those old guns, those old bolt action, like Kar 98s, all those guns are really cool. But also wanted to infuse some kind of fantasy elements, and with the VR specifically, just like how, guns have like a really high, precise, like aiming feel to it. Magic has this very like visceral, natural, like gestural element to it. And we kind of want to mix both of them into like one concept.
I think you've done that very well with the attachments to the guns and stuff. So this is to do with Charge of the Light Brigade, the actual.
Yeah, for sure. Like that poem specifically was very inspirational. There's actually an album called The Light Brigade 2. It's kind of like an EDM album that I used to listen to quite a lot. And I kind of imagined these fantasy scenarios in my mind for quite a while before we actually started this game. So it's been a long time coming for sure.
Nice. And what made you go down the roguelike road of this? Like, is there someone in the team or who made that decision? And also, why VR in general? Like, why did you guys want to go into VR? And have you developed any other VR games? And apologies if you had and I didn't know about it, but
yeah, no worries. We've been in VR for this generation, starting in 2015. We started off with a game called Cosmic Trip, which is like StarCraft in VR. And then we
Brad's
made
nodding his head, dude, like he knows what that is.
Yeah, I think
I wasn't
Bradley,
around then.
Yeah, Bradley made a video a while ago too. That's kind of our first Genesis title. And then we just kept making different titles. Like we made a game called Fuji, which is very like artsy fartsy, like game about plants. And then this one, we just like, everyone in the company plays shooters. We all play roguelikes. Everyone's so obsessed with Dark Souls. Why don't we just make a game that's like hyper focused on a lot of our interests? So all converged to Light Brigade.
The roguelike aspect of this game is what really gets me. I mean, I love the art style. It's super good. Like it's such a cool art style to the way this game looks. But to me, it's that roguelike element of that going into the game, building your character, having to lose, having to build yourself, come back, the upgrades that you can get in game and those decisions you have to make. Like you get these crates that you just have to like make a decision and you have to like, that's going to affect the current run you're in. And however way you go, whether you go with a power up, or whether you go with a health, or whether you go with, however you want to play. Like Wes, when he plays, he is very proactively looking to build health. And to me, I'm like way more aggressive, and I'm always looking for the more powerful weapon or the more powerful attachment. So that's really what draws me in. This game has that one more hook. Like, I want to play one more. Like, you die and you're like, oh man, I got so far. And then all of a sudden you're like, I gotta start all the way back again. You're like, all right, just one more. And you keep doing that, man. So it's such a good hook for you guys.
But when you die, you're kind of happy you die, because now you get to go and upgrade, right? You get to upgrade your gun, you get to unlock new features, and then you get to go back and avenge your death. Super cool.
I was just going to say, I do a lot of playtesting of games, and you guys have created a very good reason to play. Some games completely miss that mark. They're too busy trying to make something really cool in some way, and then you get to play it and you're like, but why do I need to keep playing this? What's the reason behind it? And your game's got obviously multiple classes. Can you tell us what the classes are, or is that still a bit of a, do you want people to figure that out as they unlock them? Because personally, I only know of 2. So
yeah, we have quite a few. We have the basic rifleman, the standard soldier. We have like the SMG assault class. We have a sniper at the end, which is my favorite one.
Really?
Each shot requires a bolt. It's a Car 98.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it is.
One requires a bolt. It was my favorite PUBG gun, so I really wanted it to be there. Yeah, regarding the roguelike, I play a lot of roguelikes just because like I have like a daughter now, and I can't be playing these 200-hour like JRPGs anymore. So I constantly kind of dive into these like 20-minute sessions. And I also feel like Oculus once told us like a statistic about like VR gamers kind of jump in around 45 minutes. This is like a few years ago. I think it's elevated to about an hour now. And these like long story games always have this like really awkward, like, okay, do I just stop now and continue like later? And we kind of built this game around that like ideal VR play length of like 45 minutes until the player generally fatigues. And then we kind of constructed it around that play. So anyway, people jump in, maybe they get 1 run in, 2 runs in, they die, they feel good, take a break, and then they can come back in later again.
You've also got it on all formats, which is quite an impressive feat for a developer. How big is the team?
We're about 10 people.
No way.
Oh, that's incredibly small. You guys are killing it.
You're 10.
We have 10, and it's been like, I do a lot. I did the creative direction. I do some of the graphics, some of the game design. I even like clean the toilets in this office.
Hell yeah, dude! You gotta wear all the hats, man.
CEO and intern is what I position myself.
CEO and intern. That's good. GT, you mentioned that this game like has the reason, right? Like I agree with you. There are a lot of games out there that you're like, wait a second, why though? Like, why am I dumping all the time? And so what is that reason? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I think there's like.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. Are you asking me or? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm asking whoever's got the answer.
You're better qualified to answer it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There's like a skill-based aspect to it where you just wanted to be a better like shooter. Shooters are really good even without any like meta progression. You just want to aim better and just have better kill shots. So that for a lot of gamers or VR gamers is a pretty good incentive, but we layer a bunch of stuff on like meta progressions, the soul system leveling up, and just trying to get people back in, and also unlockable classes.
Yeah.
In the future, we're going to add way more shit too. So we're just trying to keep people kind of engaged in the game and just like keep improving their skill. Because even with traditional roguelikes, even without meta progression, you just want to be better. In our game, we actually have meta progression elements too. So it's to string them along like future game loops.
But you can get roguelites wrong. People do all the time. Like roguelite is like, it's a funky thing because it sits on an edge, because if you do it right, it can be one of the best games you ever play. But if you do it wrong, it can be a maddeningly frustrating, repeat. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's just frustrating. So, I know you guys are giving yourself enough credit as to how this is a good roguelike, because I just saw somebody saying in chat, I didn't like roguelikes before until I did like Mother Gunship Forge or some of those other games, because there are a lot of them out there that you just don't do well. They just don't do it well. But so, yeah, I think you guys have the hook, and you just have to have something about it. And I think progression is a big part of it.
Yeah, progression and accessibility, which I imagine VR even makes that a little bit harder as well, to make that accessibility. Quick shout out to VR Zano. Thank you ever so much for the $10 donation. He says, and this is to everyone in chat, thank you for all being here, by the way. He says, would love to know which of you guys pre-ordered the PSVR 2, and this is to us as well. I'm on that GT7 hype train. Whoop! Cheers from Brazil. Thank you, dude. So who has pre-ordered the PSVR 2 here?
I think we all did.
I think everybody.
Look at his
Yep.
hands. Beautiful.
Eddie's got like 5
and
of
I
them in his
bought a
office
physical
already.
copy of GT7. Got
Yes.
an eBay GT7 on the way. Oh, actually, I already have
Nice.
it, so I'm ready for it.
It would take an army to keep me away from the PSVR 2.
Oh.
Or just March, or just the month of March, Skiba. We'll keep you away from your
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
actually
with
with you.
VR too.
I know. I'm actually going to be out of town. I'm leaving for a work trip on February 20th. So my PSVR 2 might be showing up. While
Mate, I
I'm
would never.
away.
I couldn't go.
Oh, that's even worse.
I'd quit.
Call in sick. Call in sick.
Wes is
I'd
going
quit
on
for
vacation.
Ocarina of Time. I'd quit for
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. 20th
I heard
to
your story
24th.
yesterday, Wes. I'm like, what is she crazy? Your wife? We're not going anywhere near the near February 20 anything.
Watch though, it's not going to show up until like the 26th or something.
Oh
Oh,
God.
don't say
That's
that.
my
almost
email,
what I'm waiting for.
my email does say that it will ship sometime between the 22nd and the 28th. If it's the
Oh, wow.
28th, I'll cry like a little girl.
Mhm.
I swear to God, I will.
So what's the deal, Wes? You guys didn't get enough Vegas at CES? You need to go back
Shoot.
already?
She didn't. I think we're going to go back in a couple months. Well, I'm not
No
really
way.
going next week. She talked about it. I was like, you know, I got a package coming, right? And then, oh yeah.
You know who else has a package coming? Hey, let us know. Well, I'll shoot over to Vegas and come say hi to you if you're going to be there. It's like a 4-hour drive, like 1 hour flight. Pretty easy to
That's
do.
not
yeah?
bad.
Oh, well, you know it, bro.
Nice. Just to, I know some people are talking about PSVR 2 and stuff. So, Eddie, can we talk about the PSVR 2 version of the Light Brigade? Is it using any eye tracking features or dynamic foveated rendering or headset haptics? In what way are you using those features?
Yeah, for the PSVR 2 version, the enhanced features that we have enabled are head haptics. So when you get a headshot or any kind of magical effects, you kind of feel it. It's really cool. I really like it. The HD haptics on the triggers, so things, you know, the gun has a very specific like threshold where it feels like you're shooting. So
Yeah, the
that feels
adaptive
really cool.
triggers. Yeah.
What else? We don't have eye tracking, although we are kind of planning a patch. There's a lot of things we want to add, you know, based on what the community wants. One of it is we're definitely going to add like foveated rendering, maybe add some eye tracking in it if it helps, and a bunch of other things too. We've with comparison to the Quest 2 version, the PSVR has like, you know, dynamic shadows, like HDR bloom. We have like volumetric fog, just a bunch of like things that the Quest 2 couldn't run, but we really wanted it in there, you know. So,
But what I've seen,
Eat
though, the
it-
Quest 2 version,
Eat it, Quest.
the Quest 2 version still looks impressive.
yeah, thanks. I mean, because we're a small team, we had to go towards like a stylized look rather than like a photorealism.
Yeah.
So we try to make it feel and look good, regardless of, you know, like these fancy effects.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
At AWE, I did a Tobii eye tracking demo where they had like the eye tracking throwing. Would
Mm.
love to see more of that. Like chucking a grenade and it goes to where your eyes are focused when you release. That it feels so good. It's awesome.
Curious if it felt natural, because usually you don't really look at, you know, you don't follow through where you throw, or maybe you follow through but you don't look at it, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, basically,
liked it.
You fire and forget a lot of the time. So, yeah, you don't fire and then watch where it's going to go afterwards. You know what I mean?
Well, no,
Especially-
you look and you chuck it and then you keep cruising, but
Yeah.
it goes where your
Mhm.
eyes were when you let go of it.
Oh,
Right.
okay,
You know.
that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so I
fair
like
enough.
I look, I throw that. It's not like I like keep moving my eyeballs around and the grenades like flying through the air in a circle. Like you look and just throw, and then you can keep cruising. But it went like where you were focusing, and I think that feels really natural and really good because I'm definitely looking at something when I'm aiming at it. Like if I'm gonna play like a carnival game where I throw the ball at the milk jugs, you know, like you're looking at the milk jugs the whole time. So anyway, I would love to see you guys play around with that. That's a mechanic that I think really, really works with eye tracking.
Nice.
Can I just
Sure.
take the moment to like, I know we're signal boosting the new game, but like as a VR boomer, I really have enjoyed all of Functronics Labs VR games. Like we were talking about Cosmic Trip, and like especially Fuji. If you have like a Valve Index, like Fuji is like such a weird experience. Like I feel like everyone should try those. So yeah, try out their games. They're all really good, I have to say.
I think they're
Thank you
both
so much.
on, or at least were on Viveport Infinity as well, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? I think it is. It
Yes,
might
sir.
just be-
Yeah, they were. I don't know now, but they were. They're on Steam though.
That was Brad's thing to try and get a free key. I reckon that was his.
I think so.
I love your game.
I have both of them already. I mean, it's been in my library, especially the Cosmic Trip, since day one of the Vive, I think. So
Dude,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. I know you're not like playing VR games much at the moment, but if you had a copy of Light Brigade, would you play it and then let us know what you think of it?
I think he's already set me up with it. I just haven't had time yet to check it out. But I'm sure it's I'm gonna play it this week before it came out. I almost forgot, so I'm glad that we had Eddie on the show to remind me.
Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, so it's a pre-order, isn't it? On at the moment, is it pre-order on all systems or just PSVR 2 or is it in Steam?
Quest 2, and PSVR 2,
Nice.
not Steam.
Not Steam. Okay, man.
Yeah.
The
15%
art style of
discount.
this game is cool too, by the way. I just don't know if we really hit on the art style and how you guys did this game, but this game is beautiful the way that's done inside the headset, and I can't wait to try it on all the platforms.
Thank you. Yeah, we wanted the players to feel dank, like so made the atmosphere, everything like really heavy, it's like very solemn, very poetic. So we turned up a lot of the fog effects and just made it really feel like very thick,
I really like.
I really.
Sorry, Gomez.
You're probably about to say the same thing. There's two things that really stick out like immediately when you get in the game. First of all is kind of like the cool sparkle effect and all the frozen things.
Yes, mate.
And
Yeah.
then
Where's it's like you read my mind sometimes. It's fucking mental.
the other thing that blows me away every time I look at it are the tarot cards, where they have that depth to
The
them.
3D effect, in
And
them.
they float around
Beautiful.
your hand. I love
I was gonna say,
that.
how much
Yeah.
can we say everything? I mean, I don't even know how much we can even say, but
Go ahead. Yeah, it's all good.
I mean,
yeah.
the 3D effects in the game, the color contrast in the game is beautiful.
Oh, it's
where
stunning.
it's not like it's black and white, but you see very dulled colors, but then there's vibrant colors sticking into it too. So there's so much contrast in the environment, and I don't like to compare a lot of games, but it definitely reminds me of In Death Unchained. This game, it just has a vibe to it that's very much like that. But the gunplay too is so damn good. Like you're using like World War II era weapons, but they feel perfect. The M1 Grand that you get has that freaking ping, man. When the cartridge is empty and you hear that ping, it has everything that makes you feel like you're really shooting a gun, which is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. We spent a lot of time just making the gun feel good. A lot of games, when you grab a gun, it just parents to your hand, and you feel this like very empty fakeness to it. We spent a long time just trying to add like all the rotational inertia and the recoil. It's all physics based. So, VR is not just like a monitor on your face. I think it's like an interaction platform. So you really need to make these like interactions feel real. And a lot of it is just about having things with mass and inertia. So we focus a lot on making that feel good.
I think you've done a great job of that as well. And yeah, Wes, I was going to say, like, when I first played that game and I looked at the floor and I saw the glistening in the snow and stuff, I was like, damn, this is amazing. And then you see, like, I think the art you've used for your artwork for the cover behind you, it's a really good representation of the game. Like, it was very hard for me not to use that as a thumbnail because it's just so fucking cool. That art, I love it, And as you said, when you see that starlight kind of thing or whatever it is that comes off, yeah, it's a beautiful game. I think it's a really beautiful game, and it's also not
Sounds
like,
awesome.
It's really good, man, and it's also not really hardware demanding, is it? Really, I thought it was pretty generous on like PC when I was going through it. It was only using like 40% like GPU and stuff at max settings.
The question is the PlayStation VR 2 10% faster than the 39?
I saw that in the chat. Yeah. Just say yes, Eddie. Just say yes. Everyone.
It only uses 30% on the PS5.
That's right.
It runs 120 reprojected.
Oh.
And I think our upcoming patch, we're going to boost the render scale and turn on foveated. I think that would make it a lot nicer too. So couldn't get it in for launch, but we're having this like really super aggressive post-launch update cadence with content improvements and just a bunch of stuff that we want to keep rolling in regularly. So yeah, expect the game to just keep getting better post-release.
Nice.
What about-
Sorry.
I was going Scion VR asked a couple times in chat if there's a story, or how deep the story is, if there is one to this.
Yeah, our narrative designer, his name is David. We wrote this huge, like 100-page, like Google slide deck of the whole story and how everything like fits together. But the way it's manifested is very like minimal and poetic. It's kind of like Dark Souls, where like they would say these obscure lines, and it's kind of up to you to fill up these things with your imaginations.
Seems like a lot of lore, right?
Yeah, each element has like a reason and lore to it, but the way it's manifested is leaves a lot for the imagination. It's kind of what I enjoyed.
What year is the game set in?
It's kind of set in like historical World War I,
Right.
between World War I, World War II, early 1900s.
Yeah. Nice. Cool.
I want to play it on PlayStation VR.
Me
Hell yeah,
too.
me too. I want to play on every platform. It's
Maybe you
freaking
can
amazing.
reach out to your CruCast buddies and get them into the game. You know what I mean?
Like, let me in. I want to be part of this. I want a piece of this pie.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you got to wear, when we get VR CruCast t-shirts, you can just like show it and get free games. Like, all right.
Yeah, that's it.
We're getting t-shirts? Wait a minute. Hold on. Nobody told me we're getting t-shirts.
Yeah,
That was a part of the original plan.
It was.
GT's been dragging his feet.
It was. We're all going to have different color t-shirts. That was the idea. So every window. I don't know if there's ever been a game show that does that, but I thought it'd be pretty cool for everyone because Bradley took pink or purple, I think, pretty quick.
Nobody wants yellow though.
Did no one want? Yeah, no one wanted green because they'd be invisible.
Yeah, green's
Yeah.
good.
I'll take green. I don't have a green screen. I'll take green.
Take green, dude. Take green. Who was the best Power Ranger? I thought it was white. I thought white was the best one, but then someone told me it was green, which was the same guy, I believe, if I remember Power Rangers.
I mean, green was just a badass. He didn't give a shit about anything.
Really?
Yeah, white's like a white knight. Now he's all good and shit. But the green one, man, don't mess with that guy.
You got a dark side, Alex. You want the bad guy in a way, a little bit.
A little bit.
The anti-hero.
Yeah.
Only to mix it up.
I hear that. So let's start talking about everyone's. We're talking about PSVR 2 anyway. I know everyone in my Discord was like chatting about they're all getting their emails. They're all making payments, but you guys even brought it up earlier that the delivery date you pay. I think you pay on the 17th. It's almost like confirming your pre-order. On the 17th, the money goes out, and then they're saying it will be delivered to you between the 22nd and the 27th. But I'm sure someone said to me in my Discord earlier that they think it's being dispatched definitely on the 21st. And I don't
I
know
heard the 20th.
I hope so.
Yeah, somebody said the 20th in one of our things. I don't know what that's based on, but
that's what I'm
I hope it's
saying. If
true.
they're not taking any money, how are they getting the next step? Or have people been? Has the money already gone? I don't know.
Well, you just said that the money's. Didn't you just say the money comes out on the 17th?
Yeah.
Isn't what you said?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So how do they know the next step of the dispatch date? Because my email doesn't have a dispatch date on it. Just says
mine doesn't either.
no. Yeah.
Maybe
GT,
through
what are you
previous
doing?
experience.
You about to have two of these things?
Sorry.
You about to have two of these things?
I don't know.
Whoa! Like what's happening here?
That's
You're
how I
gonna
can
have-
achieve 4K instead of 2K.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So we can turn them sideways and put one on each eye.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
I've got FOV of 220.
Yeah, like how does that work? Is I don't know if I would do that'd be like an instant cancel probably for me, right? So, actually, I don't know. Maybe I want the second one. You can give it to a friend or do a giveaway or something, or have two in your house.
Unfortunately, Alex, I don't know what I'm going to do at the moment because money is not my friend.
Right.
Being self-employed. It's like,
Yeah.
but
And it's not cheap.
It's not.
No.
Well, actually, I don't know.
Seems a
what
little
I can
cheaper
say.
today than it did yesterday, huh?
Yeah, right.
No, I actually, it's weird. Now I'm in a position I can't say anything yet. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Yeah, I can't actually say much.
He can't say anything.
You lot can. You lot can speculate.
Chill. We knew it.
Yeah.
So I saw an email from Sony that said that the headset ships when your payment comes out. But I feel like what
Oh.
will usually happen is they'll get estimates on the shipping and try to send it out when it'll, either so that things don't come before the 22nd, right? So we'll see.
Right.
Let's see what
Create a
happens. I'm
label.
stoked,
You'll get a-
man. I am literally going to be sitting at my door on the 22nd. I'm just going to have some water, a
Pretty much.
snack. I'm just going to sit there and just wait.
Well, whatever you do, don't look out the window, because I'm totally not going to be sitting right there.
Yeah.
I
can't
it
wait.
it just stares at me every day. It's like, oh my god. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. But let's talk about the next Steam VR headset to be released today as like big news that I've seen, because the form factor of it is absolutely insane. It's called Bigscreen Beyond, I believe. What you got for us, Brad? What information have you got? Because I know you've actually tried it. There's a picture of you drinking a can of soda that everyone saw.
Yeah, yep. I'm very well known for drinking soda, so it's good that got out there. Anyway, yeah. So Bigscreen, if you don't know who they are, they've been around the resurgence of consumer VR since really like the beginning, like HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and they've been purely software company providing a social VR movie theater experience where they would license movies. An actual movie theater you would go in VR basically legally without any weirdness for that. But yes, they decided the past few years that they wanted to get into the hardware business, which first of all, I want to just take a moment to say how freaking hard it is to do hardware, especially if you're like only done software in the past. So it's kind of amazing whenever any project like this gets to the point where they can announce and do pre-orders. Just wanted to say that real quick. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So the main thing about this headset is it's tiny. They advertise it like 130 grams, I believe, or like is it 130 or 180?
It said
130 grams.
something.
Yeah, 127 grams. Perfect. Got it up right here now. That is without the wire and the
Just
the
showing
head
everyone a
strap.
picture of it, Brad. All right, for a second. Yeah.
It's got to
Perfect.
be super. Even those have to be super light too. So even with those things on there, it's still got to be so light.
Yeah, I think it's around 200 grams with at least the head strap on and the wire as well. So it's super light. And the other interesting thing about it that maybe for some people don't like this about it, I see a lot of discussion about it online, is when they send you the order or the email that you want to get your order made and shipped, you have to do a 3D face scan with an iPhone that has a Face ID scanner, because you need that short range LiDAR to actually do an accurate enough one. And they custom mold the facial pad so it will contour perfectly to the area around your eyes and everything. And I will say I was very skeptical of this gimmick when I first heard of it, but every time they've printed one out for me, I was like, this is actually a really enticing thing to have for this headset. Honestly, it's a good gimmick.
VR can be very personal, so it really makes sense. You might lend a headset out to people around, but it's you using it predominantly all the time, so it's very cool.
Yeah,
and I think is that even possible though? Like, I mean, how many headsets do they think they're going to sell if they're going to make one directly for every person?
Yeah,
They're not going to sell many.
That's what I was about to get into. This is a $1,000 headset, and that's just HMD, and it requires lighthouse tracking. So unless you're already in the ecosystem, you gotta buy 2 base stations, which are like around $150 each. Usually you want 2 at the very least. So that's $300 added on top, and it doesn't come with controllers. So again, if you don't have Vive wands or Valve knuckles, that's probably another $250 to $300 as well. So this is definitely an enthusiast product.
Has it got speakers?
Does not have speakers.
Not with it.
Okay.
You can buy there's an extra band that you can buy separately that has an audio system in it, but who knows how good that is.
The thing is, it looks like it's from the future, though, to be fair. Like that, it looks incredible.
It looks awesome.
I did a video about this as well. And basically at the end of the video, just to spoil it all, I was saying at the beginning of this rant that this is like a startup that was able to build this and make this. It uses micro OLED screens, which is something that's become a meme for my community and channel. I've been ranting about this technology getting in headsets for a couple of years now. And it uses pancake optics. And you can see this is not, I mean, it's hard to say these are off the shelf displays or anything, but a startup's not going to be able to do any custom stuff with displays. They're not going to be able to get the things easier. But a startup was able to manage to do something like this. Imagine what the big companies are working on with the same sort of components and stuff that is in the near future, or at least within the next couple of years. Because I do see this as like a very big hint to what's to come from the big players as well. It's just, big screen, they're just kind of getting out there market first is basically what they're trying to do here. So, yeah.
I mean,
What happens? What happens if you're sane and you have an Android instead of an iPhone? Because I would never own another iPhone. I've had
Borrow
one
your girlfriend
years
or
ago.
wife's.
Yeah, I don't have
right.
either. So
It's funny because the website, I think I saw someone post a screenshot. The website recommends people to go to the Apple store and just borrow the demo unit to do it there. Which is really funny.
Excuse me, can I get in here? I need to order my $1,000 headset, please.
Dude,
Yeah.
you definitely know someone who has an iPhone. Everyone knows someone.
I don't know. Skiba was telling me earlier. Skiba was like, I'd love to do something with LiDAR, right? You said you had nobody around you that can.
I don't
that has
know
this
anyone that has a new enough iPhone where I can scan some things with the LiDAR. I don't know anybody. It's insane. Like I need a minute to talk about this headset for a minute.
Do you know what,
Because-
Skiba? You can have two.
Awesome.
right?
Fill
So
your boots
I'm going
up.
to preface what I'm going to say here by just saying that I love when companies are out there trying to advance this technology. Mad respect. This thing is really cool looking. I think it's great. Now, the reality of the situation that I believe is the case is that this is like Brad was saying, this is an enthusiast headset. This headset's $1,000, requires $300 base stations, $300 controllers. It requires an iPhone, a gaming PC. This is very, very expensive investment. You could go out and you can get like a really light, thin form factor headset with like the Vive XR Elite that has a built-in chip in it, so you can run native experiences.
I
You
was
don't
going to
necessarily need
say,
those things.
this does
Plus-
kind of shadow that in form factor wise, because the XR Elite come across to me as like,
Yeah.
this is what it's bragging about. It's the small form factor. And then this happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you're
But-
not
but
the winner
the
of that
XR Elite
now.
Also has inside out tracking. It has hand tracking.
Yes.
It has full color, awesome mixed reality pass through.
Uh-huh.
Like this thing has none of those things, right? Like
And it's
this is
cheaper.
strictly for tethered PC VR. Here's the other thing here, okay? I want to love big screen so much. I want, like, the concept is phenomenal, but this software has been around for what, 8 years? And still to this very day, it's a 50-50 shot whether when I stream my PC to that it's going to work. Like the sound's going to have problems. Some people are going to see the screen, some people are not. Why am I going to trust a company to spend thousands of dollars on a headset when they've been working on their software for 8 years and it still doesn't work? What is happening here? I want to love them. I do. I want to have faith in this.
I know
and
you
love
would.
that they're
I know you
bringing
do
VR
as well.
forward.
Yeah.
But like this to me is a dead on arrival headset. Like I can't imagine anyone that isn't already an Index owner or a Vive owner buying this. And that is you got VR, you got video games, you got VR, you have people that are into PC VR, right? And then people that have lighthouses and control. Like it's such a teeny tiny little fraction of the market. How are they going to stay alive through this? I can't figure out exactly what their market strategy
Yeah, does anyone
is
know?
there,
Because
who
yeah,
this is
that's
for.
the,
No idea.
that's the problem, isn't it, with most of this stuff? Like, it sounds very cool, but the ultimate question is, who is it for?
It sounds awesome. Like, and I'm glad they're doing it. You know what I mean? I want people to make more headsets. It just doesn't make a ton of sense with this one. And this is a huge departure for them. They've never made any hardware before, just like Brad said. Like, just for them getting this headset out there is an achievement on its own. And to the point that most of us didn't know about it either, by the way. Meta can't do anything without somebody knowing about it. And Big Screen kind of hid this from most people. No, stop laughing,
Brad went.
Stop laughing, Brad.
Yeah,
Flash
Brad
it.
puckered when you said that.
Big Screen did a really good job. They had this out to a lot of creators already, and they did a really good job of keeping this kind of quiet because nobody really knew about it in the VR community. But here's the thing: if they end up failing, which there's a good chance they can with this headset, is that good for VR? Like, I want more headsets, but do I want more headsets that are going to fail? We need more headsets that are going to make it and do good and be great. So in the end, I just don't know how. What is this a good thing?
Brad, I watched your video today, and the biggest takeaway for me from that video was you basically put it out there and said, "Yo, this thing's pretty damn awesome, and it could potentially be a viable upgrade to the Valve Index." Now, you just heard Skiva give a whole lot of reasons why I don't think he's going to be updating his index to this, but do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
I think it's one of those things where I think most people are going to be like Skiva because they can't go out and try this thing. Because even if a friend has one, it's not going to be tailored to share with someone to see how great an experience
Can I borrow your face, please?
Yeah. Like, it really, it has a lot of downsides, and that's the one thing me and Skiva probably both love the Index is it just has all around. It has pretty much everything for a full headset kit. This doesn't. It doesn't. However, when you start getting to this weird territory of I love using the word gimmick, even if it's positive gimmicks. It has something there. I think for again a very niche amount of people. I've talked to the Big Screen team when trying this all the time, like asking them myself, like how much do they expect to sell, and I do feel they're pretty delusional in their answers. No offense, especially that was the first thing I said too, is the iPhone thing. I thought that was crazy as an expectation for people. Like I couldn't wrap my head around it, and I have an iPhone, so yeah, it's a very interesting product. I think I was talking, or I was seeing Tupper, who is the community manager for VR chat, and he's all for this thing. Like honestly, he's like, this is perfect. And that's what this headset is. It's targeting that crowd of people who are willing to sleep in VR chat every night, right? Like the crazy users.
So if your Valve Index died, Skiva.
So here's the thing, right? I no matter how many headsets I have sitting here, and I have a lot, there are two main reasons why I continue to go back to the Index. Those two reasons are 144 hertz frame rate. That to me is more important than anything. That brings the realism to my experiences to the next level. That frame rate is everything to me. Number two is the field of view. That 140-ish degree field of view is the other thing, right? So the Index doesn't have the resolution. It doesn't have the, it's not lightweight, right? But those two things are so critical to me having a good experience that I keep wanting to take one of these other headsets I have and make it my primary headset. And I keep putting on my Index because of those two things. This headset doesn't have either of those things. So there's no chance. Even if I had one, maybe I'd wear it. I'd go in and fight with Big Screen and try to make it work and watch a movie in it. And it probably won't. I'll get frustrated and take it off. But I'm not switching until I get a frame rate and field of view upgrade.
So what is the stats on this one again? I have the email. I haven't seen it.
It's 2560 by 2560 per eye.
Yeah.
And running at 90 hertz. Yeah.
Okay. What's the FOV?
And I was about to say it's around Quest 2 FOV around like, is it like 93 or something?
Right.
Both ways.
So Skiva, while you were talking about the issues that you see with this Big Screen Beyond, honestly, what I started thinking about when I heard like the reasons why you don't like it is the Somnium Space headset. It's like a software company that is now moving into hardware, and it's expensive and all that. Do you have like the same gripes with the Somnium headset as you do this one?
No, I mean the Somnium headset is a modular headset that's completely open source for the people, right? That you can attach things to it, you can remove things, you can go in and gain direct access to the cameras. Like it's an open source. Like I'm very much an open source and an open data infrastructure, right? Like I'm all about that. Now the Somnium Space headset is also very big and bulky, so I don't know. In a world that we have these tiny thin little VR headsets, will the Somnium headset make it? I doubt it. It's going to be another enthusiast headset, right? But when a headset comes out that does that 144 frames plus, with a larger FOV, I'm all about it at a normal price too, right? I don't really want to spend more than $1,000 on a headset if I don't have to. I have a gaming rig. Most people don't have the gaming rig I have. Most people don't have lighthouses and controllers. They have a Quest, right? And they're looking to upgrade their Quest.
Yeah.
Right. And so for the enthusiasts, this is awesome. But can a company survive on enthusiasts alone? I can't imagine.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. We're all talking about it like, for all we know, they're just trying to push the envelope just to be the first out the gate to say, yeah, we did this. There must be some sort of investors there to help this happen, because all of us know it's not a viable product to survive on. So there must be an incentive that isn't
before and
just...
after. They get investors beforehand to keep them afloat while they're putting that out. And then they put it out and they say, hey, look at everybody. Don't you see the trajectory? Like, obviously we're not going to make our money back on sales of this thing, but if they can get investors to come to the company after they put out this product, that might get them to the next step,
Mm-hmm.
I think what Brad said is absolutely right, though. This headset may not get me super excited to where I'm going to go out and buy one, but this makes me super excited as to what we are going to see. Because again, if Big Screen can do this, fuck, man, what is Apple going to be able to do? Now, I understand this is going to be a crazy headset, expensive headset, but damn, I want to see what a company who's got a lot of money behind them can do and make something super small and super lightweight and make something that a large amount of people are going to want to go buy, whether they're VR people or not. And that's what Apple will be able to do. So I'm very excited now for what is to come, because goddamn, if Big Screen can make a headset that's so damn small and make it pretty damn good, I want to see what else we have coming.
I love how opposite PSVR 2 is to where every other headset is trying to go as well. It is massive. It's like, in comparison, it's a really big headset. It doesn't bother me. I'm just saying. Is
that what you were going to say, Brad?
Yeah, Brad's got something.
A couple things. Well, I was gonna say, like, imagine what PSVR 3 is gonna be like whenever we get
even bigger. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think it will. But one thing I wanted to bring up, because we're talking about it. One relevant news, because I'm a industry news nerd.
Yeah, Bozzy's watching, mate.
Bozzy's
Bozzy's watching. He's in the chat.
Better watch what you say, bro.
I didn't leak this piece of news, so it's okay. So, Korean, well-known Korean, a Korean journal said today that Meta, LG, and SK Hynix are all partnered pretty much officially now to build an entire micro OLED line. But it's not just building a line. Meta's going to be building custom display designs and then mass producing it with these huge companies. So again, you can see where things are going, but it's going to be better by the time those products come out from these large companies.
Yeah.
Did anyone else pick up on the irony that, the first headset with the smallest screens we've ever seen, and what's it called? Big Screen.
Big Screen.
I know, right?
I did not pick up on that, actually. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
I didn't. No. I was talking to Mike today about he's getting all hyped for GT 7 on PS4, and I noticed like these this stuff he has for driving, it's all quite sexual, like Fanny Tech, Thrustmaster. They're all just sounds all sexual, doesn't it? He was talking about it, and I was like, Fanny Tech? But it's not actually Fanny Tech. I misheard it. It's What is it? Fanatec?
Yeah, Fanatec.
Fanatec.
Yeah, your way's better.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
Fanny Tech.
Yeah,
Dude, I've been cruising on like OfferUp, which is an app that's like Craigslist, or Mercari or whatever, but like, it's like a Craigslist kind of thing. I've been cruising on that, and I actually think I'm gonna buy a Thrustmaster to play GT7 with, because you can get like a secondhand one of like not like the high level version, not like the $300 one, but you can get like the $150 version that still has force feedback haptics in the wheel for like $50 on OfferUp,
Oh, yeah.
something
Really?
like that. Oh yeah.
Is there a
I think I'm gonna
difference?
pick one up this week.
Is it like the steering chain? You can either have a chain or a rubber.
It's a
something,
belt.
or is it a
It's
belt? Yeah, the
it's
belt.
the Thrustmaster with belt-driven play. It sounds enticing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much sexual going on in driving in VR, man.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, they take this stuff seriously. But I think as long as the wheel has some force feedback and I can just like put my hands on the
Oh,
wheel
yeah,
and go for
dude.
it, that's all I need. I don't need a $300 setup. But if you can do it for less than 100, I think I'm going to.
I
So
think
I'll report back.
I think
What
the
about the
first.
stand? You gotta attach it to something.
Yeah,
I
I
need a
gotta
stand, dude.
I've
so
got like some
bad.
TV tables, like right now I have like, a
TV dinner
TV table.
tables.
Dude, I
Yeah.
tried
Yeah.
when I tried the wheel that I returned, my desk was fucking shaking because it's not the best desk. So like it really needs to be attached
You
to
need to
something
have, like,
that's
a rig.
solid. Yeah.
It
I
always.
think you can pick up one of those rigs. I mean, I remember me and Wes got ours. What was it, like $75? We got it on sale, or $80,
Yeah,
something like that?
I was thinking it was even less than that, like 50 or 60.
I need a
bucks.
foldable one. I need something to put away and get back out, like that's small enough that my wife won't go absolutely mental if I put any more tech in this room.
As long as you don't have a chair attached to it, you'll be fine. Those like the one that Mash and West have are designed to be moved and put away.
Yeah, this one right here. Let me see if I can turn my camera. That one right there.
That's what I need.
That one actually does fold down. I'm pretty sure.
And it's got
Wes,
the
right?
shifter, the shift thing on the side as well.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think it
don't
does.
have the shifter, but let me see. Yeah, I don't have the shifter, but you can buy it separately. But
Why
it's
have you got?
the
Are you
pedals.
using cyber shoes?
I got my
as pedals?
cyber shoes on there just to no, they're just sitting on there to like have someplace to put them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nash, you should maybe share after the show like a link to that product so I can
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
dig
man. I
around.
think I'd like to take a look at that, please.
yeah, it's a
about-
good setup because what Root said is right. The freaking thing rumbles like crazy, and that setup is super strong where it doesn't rumble, which is nice. It doesn't like move around.
We're talking about VR
Well-
headsets, Eddie. What's your preference of VR headset, or how did you even get into VR in the first place? Actually,
How do I get in VR?
Yeah.
My co-founder Kalen, when we were in Japan, I was working at a game studio there. We did like pixel junk games for PS3. I remember he pre-ordered the Oculus CV1 or the original Rift, and he showed it to us. Back then, Japan had no idea what VR was at all. And I just remember seeing the Italian villa and just got my mind blown. And I kind of knew back then, this is 2011, that I wanted to be in VR like all the time.
did you make
Um,
Pixel Junk Monsters on PS3?
Yeah, we're part of that team.
I
Monster shooters,
fucking
we're,
love
like,
that game.
a lot of the co-founders are like Pixel Junk.
I love that game.
employees.
Oh man, I used to play the shit out of it.
I
Awesome.
gotta say, I got bounced. I gotta reuse this setup for my Sony meeting in like 2 minutes.
So you've got to leave and mess up my podcast.
Oh, he's got to go
Yeah,
to a
I'm so
Sony
s-
meeting.
I'm
Hell
so
yeah, you do.
sorry.
No worries, dude.
I can't
will
wait to see what
say-
happens.
Regarding the headset stuff, if I wish I could show you, but we have like a graveyard of like over almost 100 headsets since 2015.
Wow.
And all of them have had its unique, pros and cons. A lot of them have died mostly because of funding. It is hard to release a headset. If you ever go to the Oculus headquarters, it's just like they have like 500 scientists, a bunch of engineers. I don't know how you could replicate it in a small form factor, but if there's a way, I think, I would like to see more competition. But
Yeah, I think
it's
everyone does.
hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
But either way, it's moving on fast, dude. That's for sure.
Anyways, sorry I have to bounce it, and hopefully it doesn't mess up your screen.
Eddie,
config
it
too
will
much.
mess it up, but it doesn't matter. Thank you ever so much for being here. Really
Thanks for
appreciate
joining
it.
us, dude.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks,
you,
Eddie.
you guys should be super proud. You made a great game. I can't wait for your launch, and I think we'll all be talking to you soon.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks so much.
Wednesday.
Awesome stuff.
Wednesday,
There you
we'll
go.
be talking to you Wednesday.
Sounds good. All right. See you guys. Bye.
See you
Bye
later,
bye.
dude.
See you later.
Well, you watch everyone's face get kind of.
I know. I can't wait to see what happens to
Oh,
the
that's
stream.
not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I think we've got one too many people here, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in there, put Oh, what the hell is that? Where is Bruce? I just want to give a quick shout out to Snowtoad, who gifted 5 VR CruCast channel memberships. Thank you ever so much, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Hey, Skiva, I have a question for you. How nice is it
Yeah.
to be here, not running the OBS? Like, it's
Oh,
kind of a
love
treat. You
it.
know what I mean? It's nice.
I love it. I don't have to hit any buttons. I don't have any stress of anything blowing up. It's fantastic.
Oh, I don't know what stress you're talking
That's
about.
amazing.
What stress have I haven't got any stress either.
Oh, good.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What's-
well,
what stress
You
are
don't
talking
have
about?
an elaborate production like we have on the Between Realities VR
That is true.
podcast.
That is true. I haven't got my mom going on for 5 minutes, that's for sure. That's for real.
There she is.
Oh,
I don't
man,
hear her.
What have you? No, that she. I can. You're gonna have to just
You
send me
guys
the
still
sound
can't-
file. Maybe I should just
No.
use it just when you guys are here, because I doubt I'll be using it any other time. And we're getting on in chat anyway. We've got Mickey. We've got so many people here. Thank you ever so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate GT the professional. What am I doing? What have I done wrong? Thank you for joining us. What are you guys? What's the games you're going to be playing when you get your PSVR 2s? Like, what's the top 2 that you're excited to check out?
What the bat?
Oh, who doesn't? Who
Just
doesn't?
I
rolling
actually am
like
going
that.
to. I
You
actually am
have to.
going
Everybody
to.
should. Everybody
We're
needs
going
to.
to.
No,
We're going to
'Cause
do
I
it.
can't be the only one that loses my shit over this stuff.
I can't wait. I'm waiting for my PlayStation VR to play it, but I do have my review code all lined up and everything. And I've been waiting to get into this game because I need to see what all the fuss is about. So what the bat
might
is
have-
definitely going to happen.
What fuss?
They might have amazing adaptive triggers or foveated eye tracking or rendering and eye tracking. Who knows what
Maybe.
they'll do with it? You know.
Maybe. Mhm.
Yeah, and of course, Call of the Mountain. I think I'm just going to go directly into that and not leave. That's probably going to be my first day with the PlayStation VR.
I
2.
think Resident Evil for me would be high up on my list for sure. I'm
Yeah,
looking
but-
at my physical copy I got over there, and I've been waiting to play it since I tried it flat and played. I'll tell you what, even the VR mod, the PC VR mod, scared the crap out of me so much, and I don't know what. Yeah, Wes blew through it, man. I was like, I felt like I was stuck in a hell of lichen. I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was crazy. So.
I'm afraid, literally, genuinely afraid. I bought the game. It's coming. The physical copy's coming for me also. But I played some Resident Evil 7 at Halloween a couple of years ago, and I was losing it in there. It is so scary. So naturally, a PlayStation 5 Resident Evil game in VR, I am literally afraid. It makes me anxious just thinking about the fact that I'm actually going to play that.
Do you stream it? You have to stream it.
I guess I could. Yeah, I definitely want to get back into creating content of VR games with the PlayStation VR 2. It's how I got started, and I fell out of that for a while, but I want to get back into it. And I think the PlayStation VR is going to make it easier. So I will probably do something like that, or maybe I'll record it, or I don't know. But I'm afraid. I'm very scared. Okay.
I want to watch you scream.
Before I just want to say, DL Gonzo, the VR geezer game cat, dude. The VR geezer. Oh, I love it. I never see anyone use the word with the Americans, right? I'd be like, yeah, geezer, and they'd be like, why are you calling me old? I'd be like,
I want to know how old the VR geezer is, because I mean, I want to know how old is old.
It doesn't
am
matter.
Am I a geezer?
We're all geezers, bro.
It's
Like,
not
how old do you
about
have to be?
age.
How old do you have to be a geezer? Like here is
isn't-
you
In the States, it
is.
is.
It
in the
is.
States.
Yeah.
It's about a geezer is an old man. Like a
Yeah,
traditional old man.
here, like a geezer
Yeah.
is someone you get on with. Like,
Oh, okay, I
they
gotcha.
sound, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? They're on a level, and they don't mess around, they don't mix their words, they don't talk shit about people. That's a
That's me.
geezer.
We just gonna figure out another name, because you call me geezer, I'm gonna have problems. I already have a complex because I'm so old already.
Yeah. Every time I've ever tried to make fun of Mash, he just makes me feel bad. I'm like, oh God, okay, dude, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings.
Alex
What
could
you
be-
need to
Alex
do-
could be my son.
You need to talk to somebody that's young, Mash. Somebody
I'm just
that's like in their early 20s, and when what they say sounds so ridiculous, you can feel good about being a geezer, because we actually have wisdom, and the younger generation doesn't seem to have much of it. So that's just my personal
Did any of us have it though at their age? Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
No,
True.
Yeah.
no,
You're
definitely
right.
not.
Oh
I
my
just say
God, it's too
people in
funny.
general do not have wisdom.
I was more
There
of
are
a-
some.
Yeah, I was.
There's
more
a lot of
dickhead
dum dums
then.
though.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, for me, shameless plug. I actually put a video out today of my top 5 launch day titles because there's a lot of people out there like, oh, well, this game's a launch day title and this game's a launch day title, and people have to realize that when Sony says launch title, that could be anywhere within 3 months of the actual launch of the headset. The actual launch day, there's a lot of games that aren't launching on launch day that you think maybe are launch titles. So I did put out 5 titles that I think are must buys for launch day, and Call of the Mountain, definitely my number 1. And my number 2 was Resident Evil 8. My number 3 was GT7, Demio, and then my number 5 was After the Fall.
Great choices.
Good
Apparently,
list.
the official launch window is 1 month. That's what's classed as a launch window. And today I went and visited Supermassive Games to try.
Yeah. Tell us all about it.
I can't tell you about. All I can.
Come on, man.
The only actually
Turn the camera
1
off, turn the
second
camera off,
because
then tell
I
us all
actually
about
emailed to check if I could talk about it, and she
Well, we
put,
know
That email.
You
she
said
put-
it scared you.
she's put hi. Of course you can. So, okay,
Hell yeah.
are you a fan of Rush of Blood here? Like, is anyone here?
Yes,
Yeah.
resounding
Who's
yes.
not?
Love
Who's
that
not?
game.
Okay,
Love it.
so imagine if the developers, right, were fans of Rush of Blood, and they were, do you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna triple down, not double down, triple down on everything that was great about the first one.
Sounds good.
And
Done.
Hell yeah.
it was like, what can I say? I think there's 10 levels. I would say every single level seemed to be different monsters, different themed, long, like 10, 15 minutes per one.
Whoa.
Yeah. The
Branching paths.
haptics are there, more weapons. And obviously you got the magic of what the PSVR 2 is bringing. So
Is it scary?
it's weird actually because I only done 3 out of the 10, and I've got a video coming, and in that video I only chose to use 2 of the 3 because these guys were like recording in 4K 60, and it was terabytes of information, and I was like, I can't do that anyway. It would take me a year to download it. So I said, I'll just have probably the first and the third chapter. There was a middle chapter. Now, I think you need to be. Have all of you played Supermassive games? Like, what's their lineup? You've got Until Dawn, Dark Pictures. If you follow that lineage of games, right, a lot of this you'll go, oh, that's from that. Ah, that's from that. Now the problem with me is I haven't played all those games. I've played some of them, but I'm so into VR, I didn't get to play many of the flat ones. So it was almost like if you're a fan of the series of those games, you're gonna fucking love this. Like, because I found it terrifying anyway, but yeah, you're gonna go crazy and go, oh, that's the dude from the thing. You got the thing, and he's trying to kill me, and you'll be like, oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I think Wes is gonna wet himself, to be honest.
I already am, dude. Like, can you see it?
Yeah, it was and you know, it was really nice to get to talk to them, because it was crazy how amazed, how humble they were to me. They were like, oh, we're so pleased you're here. Apparently 2 people went off sick because they were stressed, like all this stuff. I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And they went, no, we all watched your like launch day games and we were there. And I was just like, this is nuts. Like, you don't know how much of a fan I am of you, and you're talking to me about this stuff. And I said, like, the whole community was constantly atting Supermassive and just saying, please make like Rush of Blood with a pro patch, Rush of Blood 2, and
Yeah.
we never ever got a reply. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, their social person's like only in a year, so maybe they sacked the other one. I don't know, or maybe they didn't have anyone doing it. But yeah, it's,
I spam them so much. Every time they put a game out, I'm just like, no VR. I'm
Where
not
are you?
buying it.
yeah, yeah. So they've done it, you know. And I haven't played the whole game, so I can't review it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just telling you about what I played today, and what I played today delivered on what I was hoping.
That's so dope. And you got to hang out with Mike
to
and
hear.
Ben. That's
It's
rad.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Mike's old news now, you know. He's
That's
just
true.
like,
Yeah,
Old
all the
hat.
time. But it's good to see.
He's a geezer.
He is a geezer. He's a
He's a
geezer.
geezer.
When he
That
come
was
out,
Ben though.
when we sorry,
So's Ben though.
Ben's a geezer as well. When we was basically they because of the testing they've done, apart from the people who play it like every day for quality, right? They were like, people react massively to this game. So what they thought was, you play a level, then you play a level, then you play a level, then you play a level. So Mike went in and done a level, and when I went in to get the headset off him, it was covered in sweat. And, and honestly, right, listen, I was sitting there listening, talking to this lady called Courtney, and it actually sounded like they were like probing him or doing something horrific because there was like, he was in the soundproof cinema and you could hear, and I'm just thinking, my God, I've got to go in there next. But I'm definitely, I'm definitely like less reactive than some people. I think it has to be pretty jumpy for me to get going. Do you know what I mean? As I think he freaks out if anything's trying to grab him and shit. And you can actually hit them in this one. You can like bash them back.
Oh, nice.
That's not a guarantee that you'll kill them or even do damage, but you can apparently knock them. Oh, and also next week the developer's coming on the show with us. So
Nice.
you
Fuck yeah.
yeah, man.
Very
So
nice.
Paradise Decay wants to know if you saw the Weeping Angels and wants to know if you blinked.
Weeping Angels are Doctor
Ooh.
Who though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So I did
Hmm,
see the
interesting.
mannequins, and I tried my. So another thing to add about this game before I get too far into that, just that little bit. There's multiple paths. I think there's multiple endings, and there was bits like that he was calling me in. He was saying, "Look, you missed this bit because you done this, and Mike didn't. So you've got to see this bit." As I said, there's some puzzles in it. This guy was so excited about this, and but yeah, the blinking thing. As soon as I realised what was happening, I tried my best not to blink, and he's like, "Oh shit, I blinked," and then everything's moved. You know, yeah, it's cool, man.
Nice.
It's
Man, that's so awesome.
yeah, it's
Amazing.
so cool,
I
dude.
love it.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
good. It's good. So yeah, I'm glad she said
I'm
yes.
stoked.
Like
So,
blinks
so
are so
stoked.
fast, you know, like
Yep.
a blink is ridiculously fast. And you're telling me they're changing something in the frame where my eye closes before it opens back up.
multiple times.
Only on PS5, bro. Only on PS5.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's got a wire though. Fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah,
Bulky.
right. It's got wire,
Too
man.
heavy.
But yeah, so I think anyone who's a fan and like the VR the PSVR community are gonna just fucking be like pigs and shit with this one.
I'm getting
you know?
excited, dude. I'm
Well,
getting
what's
so
crazy
excited.
is Wes and I just wanted a sequel or a remaster of number one.
Yeah,
And we're getting, this is like 10 times better than that or 100 times.
yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. It's so good to hear that. The only thing I didn't get to do was really experience roller coasters in it. Like these levels they picked were actually kind of the reason they picked them was for the like actiony bits or to show you some of the lore in the world. So when he asked for any feedback, like apart from like they're still working on the game as we know, I was just like, oh, I wish I would have experienced some more roller coaster stuff. And he went, that's definitely in there, like some really fast stuff. And yeah, you can even like, you know, when you go up a roller coaster and it's like, you feel that in your head, like
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So cool, dude.
it's good.
I can't
Can't wait.
wait.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
cool.
wait. It's too
Damn.
bad I had to cancel my PSVR 2 pre-order for this big screen headset.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
problem,
man.
dude. Like when I'm really, I know some people like have said to me about, oh, but you didn't do PSVR like for the last couple of years. But to be honest, there was nothing. I literally go where the games are. I just want to play games. That's pretty much it, you know. And it was hard to cover PSVR for me personally because it'd have been like pretending that there was something I wanted to play because I'd played everything, and I still played games on it like Transformers and games I wanted to play, but I was just like replaying games on my own because I'd streamed Rush of Blood 10 times over the years, and you know, eventually you're like, oh man, you know, and oh look, Phantom Covert Ops, that's so cool,
Oh,
you know, that was
yeah.
such a great game. I'd play that right now again. I'd love it. That's what I was kind of hoping that End Dreams would announce that coming to PSVR 2. I think that would be.
They've been a little quiet.
They have
Maybe.
been quiet.
They've been
Been
quiet.
very quiet.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
love
is
to
it
hear
Ghostbusters
Brad. I'd love
coming?
to hear. I'd love to hear Brad's list of, because you're not like what we consider like a
Traditional.
hardcore gamer, right? And you're getting a PSVR 2. Like, what's your top? like I mean, it'd probably be tough for you to come up with 5 games, but like, what are you gonna
Got
like? What are you
one.
gonna experience
He's got one.
besides
right,
Call the
Brad?
Mountain? You can't give me Call the Mountain. That's cheap. It's too
I was
easy.
literally just gonna get that, to be honest. Like,
Oh man.
yeah, I'm sorry. That's generally all I'm interested in. That's why, like, even in my CES demo, like, I was like, not sure if everyone should get it for launch, but I'm sure, like, as time goes on, it's going to be like a must buy for a lot of people that want to dabble into the VR gaming realm.
Yeah.
But for me, just for what I'm interested in, I'm currently only interested in that one game for now, because I've been in VR for a while, so a lot of the other stuff is kind of stuff I've been already tried before. So yeah,
I think
Is
that's
VR chat going to come to PSVR 2?
That would
that
be
would
cool.
be so amazing, honestly.
And
Like
Rec
the
Room.
eye
Would.
tracking,
With
standardized.
eye tracking, hell yeah, that would be
Right.
sweet, right?
That would be crazy. Like
Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
it though?
doubt-
Why couldn't it?
It totally could, right? You just get your
I-
avatars from
there's
Avatar
probably a lot
Worlds
of
or-
technical stuff there, I guess. That
well, has PSVR? I'm not. I never was a huge PSVR one, so I'm asking. Was there many like free multiplayer things for PSVR 1 for people?
Rec Room.
Rec Room.
Rec Room.
Just
yeah.
Rec Room.
Rec
just
Room?
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but if you can do Rec
Maybe it
Room, I
is
mean, Rec
possible
Room,
then,
you should
yeah.
be able to do VR chat, really.
Yeah, but VR
said that
chat
there-
has things like copyright hell, isn't it? Like there's, you know, I don't know how that would.
No different than Rec Room, right?
No,
Like,
no,
you can
but
do whatever you
Dreams
want in Rec
too,
Room.
right?
Yeah, I guess
Didn't Dreams
so.
have a lot of
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
stuff?
Dreams is like a big Rec Room.
Yeah,
that you
that's
make your
true.
own shit
Actually,
in.
Dreams. Yeah, there's so many different games in there. That's true. Like I play.
Oh
Sonic
damn!
and
What about a
Mario.
Dreams for PSVR 2?
That's
'Cause
gotta
that's something that I
happen.
feel like
That's
everybody
definitely-
missed the boat on.
I
you know?
That's
guarantee
rumored.
coming. I
One of
guarantee.
the
Guarantee.
industry leakers have already been talking about that.
Brad?
Actually,
Is that you?
so
Damn it, Brad! Brad gets everything.
He does.
Dude, what's it been
Sony's-
like for you in this past week, man? Like, it's pretty insane. Like, you've got Andrew Bosworth and John Carmack like commenting on a thread that is
I'm-
about you.
I'm
Like,
gonna have to
that's pretty
step in
crazy.
here. I'm gonna have to step in here as Brad's PR guy and say that he will not be fielding questions on this topic. Brad has to go. He appreciates everyone's interest, but he has a very busy man and he has other things to do.
To be honest,
I
to be
will
honest,
say-
if you don't want to answer it though, because some
No,
people
yeah.
might not even know, because this is very Twitter bound. All of this,
Yeah.
it's very on Twitter, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
I
here
just
might not
want to. I
know
want to
about it.
express my feelings on it. Like,
Do you want to explain what's happened? Because some people might not even understand what's happened. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like you might sit here and go, "This, you know, like we're skipping to what we were talking about earlier. Might be the end part. So maybe,
Yeah.
it's up to you."
I'll just summarize it best I can. So yeah, this week has been emotional.
I love you, Brad.
Thank you. Yeah. So some of my higher profile leaks were given to me. They were given to me. They were prepared leaks, basically. Like I didn't sought after this individual or anything. They were just like, "Hey, I got this this stuff I want to leak. I'm gonna leak it at one point, but I like your channel. Can I give it to you to do it?" And I was like, "Whoa, this is a good lead. Of course, I'm very into that." And because I've only been doing this for such a short time, this person asked for revenue share from the videos that these leaks were in, and I agreed to it because I never thought of the ethical stances on doing that. Again, I'm just a guy. I've never been trained in journalism, like in a university or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, this person.
It makes sense. It's a deal. It just makes sense. Like to me,
It made sense to my brain. Yeah,
Yeah,
it made
yeah.
sense to my brain the way I was raised. And I can tell you it was not a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money. If I took a
Ad
screenshot of my,
revenue pants. Yeah.
it's less than
Yeah.
$400 the last 30 days, for example, for my YouTube channel, which
Yeah.
some people think I make a lot of money on YouTube, but I really do not.
I know, dude. Honestly, man. I don't. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, this was the only source I shared money with, and it basically Meta did a huge investigation to find this leaker or whatever. It had nothing to do with me. I never gave up the leaker, and yeah, they finally traced it back to this person and did a huge investigation and found all the communications between him and me, and Bosworth did a private internal memo saying we found the leaker. Brad paid the leaker for the leaks, and of course that internal memo got leaked to The Verge, so it's become like this whole leak designed to make another leak look
he's so dumb. Bosworth is the dumbest fucker out there. I just don't get this fucking guy. I mean, he could have just diffused this whole situation, kept his mouth shut. Why do you got to come out and be a douchebag? I just don't get him.
Go on, Brad. Sorry. Good.
No, it's
Sorry,
okay.
I just had you say that.
No, I'm glad people are passionate. For me, I mean, I apologize that if I knew this was like an unethical practice in journalism, I definitely wouldn't have done it. Taken money for it. There's so many weird gray areas in YouTube in general. Like every day you get weird emails, you get weird stuff. And then when you start covering leaks, which is already for some people a gray area, the lines just get blurry. And yeah, I am sorry for it. I'm sad about while I understand the backlash for some people, I am kind of depressed from some people that are using that are actively grinding their axes right now. The same people that have benefited from my leaks in the past as well.
I was gonna say it's a double thing, isn't it? Like it might be a leak, but it's hype. It's also hype. You know, it is without a doubt. Like I know from you talking about this, suddenly I know stuff, and when you know stuff from maybe an official kind of thing, I choose not to talk about it in a way. But when you do what you do, I see the reaction. I see it. You know, I see your like gentle way you come across, like this is happening, that's happening. You don't necessarily put your own spin on it as well, your thoughts on it, and then it goes out there, and then suddenly you see bright purple background, Quest 3's here, blah, blah, blah. And that's the bit that I think they don't appreciate. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I think is where they're like, oh shit, like this is, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely made me question doing this for sure. I don't know if that's like, I mean, I've always said this before, but like I've always felt like I've been like thrown into doing this leak stuff, like leak content. It always felt like a rush, like a snowball effect that I really have enjoyed doing this kind of thing. And I've learned a lot by doing it. But yeah, it's just weird being very passionate about something and then feeling kind of pain from being passionate about it. But
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, again, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I do apologize for it, but that's
you don't need to apologize to us, man.
Yeah, this whole community like praises you and worships you, dude. Like we're definitely not the ones. Like you know, maybe Meta, right? Like maybe
you're among friends here, dude. Like
yeah, but like everybody here
100%.
worships you. Like your efforts have been so impactful in the VR community, and like it's just mind blowing to me how integrated you are. Like I said, it's like Bosworth and Carmack are like weighing in on topics that you're involved in, and it's just insane because maybe you were just a guy, but you're not just a guy anymore. Now you're fucking, sadly, it's Bradley, you know, like you're the dude that has been like leading the charge for all of us. So you have all of our undying support, like forever.
And something else to keep in mind too, Brad, you know, that these assholes have an army of online bots that they can point right at you. So try not to get too hung up on anything you read, and you know, don't start second guessing yourself, or the terrorists win, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Can I really quick? Can I just say that this company, Meta, makes its entire business and every dime that they have in their bank account is from stealing information from us, from the consumers, and from their
good
companies,
point.
Yeah.
right? They take our stuff, they take our data, and they sell it off, and they steal it. And a lot of people don't even know that this is happening. You know, like someone gave you information that they took from them, dude. They can go fuck themselves. I'm
And
sorry.
this
But,
happens
like, this
all
is
the
their entire
time,
business
guys.
philosophy.
This
You
is-
know,
this is-
like,
and this is not like this is something new. It's like this happens in every industry. It's because it's our little VR world industry. This happens all the time when people leak information. And Brad, it sounds like, if I'm not wrong, this guy was going to give this information up to somebody.
Yeah.
It just happened to do it to you, okay? Because people look to you, all right? And people look to you, and that's a good thing that
Yeah.
people look to you for information, and you provide a service to all of us. So God, do not let these idiots make you feel bad, man. And shame on them for making you feel bad, for actually just reporting on something. You know what? You know how much stuff they get out of this? You know what I mean? You know how much press that they get out of this too, by the way, that made them actually probably get more, make more money, because this stuff was leaked. It's just ridiculous, Brad. Don't let them make you feel bad, man, at all.
Yeah, these guys are getting drugged before Congress to speak about their ethics. How are they going to lecture anyone else?
Exactly.
right.
Yeah. Do
Dude,
you know what though? I
totally
mean,
agree.
I know you sound about the leaks and stuff, but I see you. That's not really what I'm into personally, but I do see you as a face for upcoming tech. You know, I trust what you say. I love when you talk about hardware. That's pretty much. I didn't even. I know I've always joked, but I didn't bring you here for anything else other than I respect Brad's fucking brain. Do you know what I mean? So, so yeah, we love you, Brad.
We love you,
Team
dude.
Brad.
I want to hug.
We
the
love
shit
you,
out
man.
of You know,
Hell yeah, man.
If I had vibe trackers, I'd go hug you right now.
I want to squeeze you. Squeeze
All right,
you till
that's
the
it.
jelly comes out your
We're
eyes.
we're all going into VR chat right now to hug Brad. Let's go.
Oh, he would love that. I think.
Hell yeah.
He would really enjoy that. Yeah, I'd put on I'd have something with cat ears and a tail and a big pair of boobs. He'd love that. Come here, Brad. Put your face in these.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
It's all good. Right. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us this week. Unless anyone else wants to add anything, I think it's been an absolutely fantastic and another bit of a random show, which is awesome.
Why don't we
I
talk about
loved
The
it.
Last of Us for 10 minutes? No, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
To
episode
watch-
5.
I haven't watched one episode yet. I haven't
Me
watched
either.
any. I'm probably the
Why?
only
What?
person.
Why?
I'm probably the only person.
I've never played the game, so I don't
Oh,
have
doesn't
any
matter.
vested interest.
Where's his window? I wanna
Doesn't
fucking-
matter. It's so good.
Right, that's it.
I need to watch
I
it. I
don't-
need to do it.
I don't watch shows anymore. Like, I really don't. When I have free time, I want to be in VR. It's what drives me. It's what I'm passionate about. This is one of the only shows to pull me back to a TV. And
Yeah.
I don't even know how long, man. It's that good.
Skeeva's not lying. This dude literally lives in
don't.
the headset. It's
I do.
crazy.
I do.
So should-
Honestly, same.
Should I play through The Last of Us? Everybody tells me I should
Do
play.
you got to
through
play?
it.
Do you got to play through the game before you go do it?
Watch the show.
You do not.
No?
No. So I can just watch the show and be okay.
Yeah.
The problem is I can't get myself out of Ghost of Tabor. Gonna
know.
watch it.
I
I'm
know,
all I want to
either.
do right now. Like I had to second guess whether I was going to come on this show because I just want to play Ghost of Tabor. Sorry.
Dude.
Thanks, Smash.
I feel you. I love that game so much.
That game.
He's just like, thanks, you bastard.
Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about Ghost of Tabor? Right, I had very early access, and I was like, this game has got so much potential, but I was very worried it would not deliver. You know, when you feature a game and the devs are like, this is happening, it's not there yet, but this is happening, this is happening, and I go in and I'm like, this is cool, and I'm fighting AI, maybe one person's online, and I'm like, and then I start watching Short Stack, And I'm like,
Hmm.
what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
here? And then I see you boys, because I can't sleep at 2 a.m, running around like absolute nut jobs in this game. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to actually get back into this.
Come
Like,
in and
so
hang
good.
with us, man, and do it in
Yeah.
there. It's so much fun.
So
Well,
I have a question.
You
for you
almost
guys.
need to have like Stacks or Z Storm like Sherpa you in there though, because it's not easy.
Z-Storm said he's ruining his channel.
Oh, it's all he wants to play. Hell yeah.
That's so good. I said to him, I was like, just record what you're doing and just upload it if you're having a good time.
So in this game, there's proximity audio. So like if you're sneaking around and you sneeze, not only will other players hear you, but AI can hear you and react to you and do all this stuff, which I, of course, think is amazing. Now, I've only played once, but the other night I jumped in with all of these guys and we ran around and it was really awesome. But we were all in a Discord call the entire time. And I think that we primarily did that because squads wasn't a thing yet. And it's like it's like basically impossible to communicate with anybody and jump into the world at the same time and all that stuff. But I personally think that being in Discord took away from the experience for me. Like
Right.
it wasn't super scary and like I wasn't listening for everything because I just constantly had like 10 other people talking in my ears the whole time. So have they added squads? Can you communicate with your team good enough just within the game's audio chat, you know, and can we figure out a way to maybe leave the Discord call so I can like get more immersed?
Yeah.
As soon
So
as-
yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead.
Go. You want me to go? Yeah. So this,
Yeah.
I think this week it's coming. They are about to open up. So it's been in the closed alpha, and they're about to open up the alpha. And one of the first fixes they have with the alpha is to have the squad matching be done, so you can get in there with your team of 4 and have in-game chat. How exactly that's going to work yet, though, I don't know. Like, because there is proximity chat, and other people that are in there can hear you. So once you start talking, if they're close enough to you, they're going to know where the frick you are. They're going to hunt you down. They're going to kill you. So you can mute yourself in game. There's like a mute button, so you can, so nobody, the proximity chat is off. But I'm not sure how that's going to work with your squad. Like,
I don't think that's fair.
the mute
I
part?
wouldn't let people mute themselves in that game.
Yeah, it's
Because
tough.
that's the best thing.
the
Imagine
mute-
just being quiet, right? You're trying to be quiet, and all of a sudden you just get that sneeze in a game.
Somebody
you
shoots
could just
you,
mute
shoot
yourself.
your
I'll
ass.
be like, fuck the mute button. No.
Besides the
Mute's
fact,
really mute's tough right now because you have to like put your hand up to your mouth, like you're covering your mouth, and hold the A button. And as soon as you let go to use your thumbstick, mute's off.
oh,
That's
okay.
good.
I was gonna
Can
say,
you-
why would you not play it in Discord then all the time, and
Yeah.
you
I feel like
minimize?
Tarkov, you have to, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we played Tarkov in Discord. That's all you had. You really couldn't do in-game chat.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
mute? Can you mute the other players by sneaking up behind them and putting your hand on their mouth?
Oh, that would be cool.
Mm.
You
can
can
grab
sneak up
their
behind them.
face and snap their neck. though.
Yes, you can
That's
do
pretty
that.
sick.
Well, you can do that.
Other
Yeah.
players or
Yeah.
just
Yes.
AI?
Well,
Well,
AI
AI,
right now, but
I think
hear
they said,
things
yeah,
are
they
being
did say they want you to be able to like pick somebody's pocket from behind, like get into their backpack and sneak
Oh,
something out
God.
of it.
And you
They
can
want you
do
to be
that
able to,
already.
they want you to be able to eventually go up and do it to play. You can do it to AI right now, but they want you to eventually be able to do it to players.
Can you do a veil where you can take their clip out of their gun?
Yeah, you can put stuff in their backpack. I think you can take their clip. Yeah, I've done it before. You
I
can take their
love
clip
that. I
out.
remember playing.
You
with
could pull
Lonely
grenades
Viper
out of
in, Veil, and I went to take a shot, and he was like, "He fucking pulled the clip out." I was
I
like,
got
"That's
your clip."
fucking, that's so sick, dude!" Like, there's just one in the chamber or whatever. That was it. I was like, "That's so good."
Bruce, I think you're gonna love this game. You're gonna, because you love
So
you.
good.
We really got into Tarkov for a while, and this literally, and then I'm not saying this is as close as you're gonna get to Tarkov VR. This is Tarkov in VR. This is exactly.
Yep.
I mean, like, not every little tiny piece is there yet, but man, it's gonna be there. Like, what they have there now is for an alpha. I think it's pretty damn good. It's like pretty polished for an alpha, and it's not even open alpha.
There's going to be more maps as well, isn't there? Isn't there different quadrants of map or
lot
something
more.
opening up?
A lot more maps, yeah.
I need to
Outdoor,
get
and
in
right
there,
now,
though.
outdoor maps are coming. Like, right now, it's just one indoor map. We haven't even seen the outdoor map yet. That is coming soon.
I need to get back.
I'm
in
telling you, in another few months, all you're going to hear about is this game. Everyone's going to be hooked on this game. It's going to become, I think this has the potential to become like one of the top selling VR games of all time.
there.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this:
It's that good.
can I break my legs falling off of a
Yes,
scaffold?
you can.
Okay.
If you jump down the
Hey.
stairs, you'll break your legs, take damage. Yeah.
Oh man, that was the sketchiest thing trying to get out. I'm like yelling at everybody because like I had no way to mend myself, and so I had to like almost crawl out of
He
there.
was limping.
Really? So you broke your legs, but you were still alive?
Yeah,
Yep.
and you're dying at the same time, and then everyone else is doing their thing, and so you're also worried that you're going to get killed, and because you're now running really slow. And I actually had gotten something good that I wanted to get out. My second question is, is there a way I can go into this game with Todd and have him not kill me? Because that's
No.
what I want. Because yeah, I'm assuming you can shoot your squad, right? Your
I
own
can. I
squad?
killed Tribe Grey Wolf
happens.
last night. Yeah.
Yep.
Tribe Grey Wolf came around a corner last night and I didn't realize that he was near me and I just shot him. Shot him dead.
So
I
okay,
kept
what?
trying.
So what happened, Roots, in that scenario? Going back to that, like, did someone pick you up? Did they heal you, or what's
No, so
did they get a
basically,
wheelbarrow, put you in it?
no, I was able to move, but I had to move really slow. And the whole point of Tarkov, or I'm assuming this other game, is you got to get, you start where you start. You got to get to the place to extract, and you get shit on the way, right? And so it was just all about, we're beelining it for this thing, but I'm going at about a snail's pace. Like I literally was like limping really slow, and you're bleeding out at the same time. It's that's why Tarkov is so good, and I'm assuming this Ghost of Tabor is it's so realistic. Like you have to manage so many things, and if you break your leg, it's broke, and you better hope that you brought something to mend it, or you're going to have to do what I did and make it out. And
Cut it
I
off.
don't even know how I made it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Or
luck.
do what I did and die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
right.
die. That's usually what happens. You end up dying. So
And there's a lot of sweaty players in there now, like GT, you were saying, before, now I get in there and like all of a sudden there's short stacks in there, and there's Z-Storm in there, and there's like 5 other streamers in there, and they're like, kitted to the hilt, you know what I mean? And they're like, holy crap, I don't even have a gun. I'm just sneaking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
I have
intense
nothing.
right now. Yeah.
I want to get back in there though. I think I might have managed to get one gun out, but like I don't want to take it back in there now, But I think next time I play, I'm going to play by myself. Like I really enjoyed being in there with you guys. Maybe I'll just play at the same time as you guys, and maybe I'll like find you and bump into you. But I want to get immersed. Like I want to like listen and like really be like paying very close attention to my surroundings. And when you have 10 people all just having a blast, laughing their asses off in a Discord call, it kind of doesn't make it so scary.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
And you know what happens? We got into smaller parties later on, and then those things that you're talking about, we did have happen because like at one point, me and Tribe were in a raid together, and we heard footsteps, so we were like whispering to each other, like, this footsteps over here, and we were, trying to call things out, and I'm like, you stay low, I'll stay high, so we can shoot at the same time. So there was that, but you can't do it when there's 7 or 8 people in a
Right.
Yeah.
Discord call.
Too many people fucking around as well.
Yeah, it's just too loud.
Paradise, thank you ever so much for the £2 donation. He put hearts in the chat for Brad. We all love him, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you to Mrs. GT for kind of a channel member. I'm seeing so many channel members. I'm assuming someone gifted some more. So thank you. If any of you keep it up, thank you ever so much.
Snow Toad.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it
I think there
Snow
was
Toad?
another super chat back there. Nihilist Ryan, the game feline with $5. Did you call that one? Maybe I missed it.
No, I didn't. He said,
He
love
says,
this big panel energy.
EPC.
Nice.
Big panel.
EPC.
You know
Thank
who else
you.
loves a big panel?
Your
My
dad?
God.
Yeah,
Your
we all
dad
heard
loves a
it,
big
right?
panel. He loves to build something.
Whose dad doesn't love big
Can I?
Brad, big panels. What do you think of big panels?
I have an idea for a VR headset that has the largest screen that you've ever seen, and I want to call it small screen.
yes, I think that'll work.
It's just crazy, isn't it? Like I think when you think about headsets, like something like Pimax, like a
Yeah.
fucking building on your face, and then
God.
you get this thing, which it's just like I haven't physically seen one. I do speak to Darshan there, and I might be getting one to test out, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to invest to do that. I've never had base stations. I've always been I'm a real fan of convenient. I love inside out tracking. As soon as that was a thing, I was like, this is fucking me all day long. Like I don't want to be dealing with cables and USBs and all that stuff. I want to get away from it. Which I know. So I remember saying this before, and someone went, "Oh yeah, PSVR 2 cable," but it's one wire, dude. I'm not fussed about it. It doesn't ever bother me. But yeah, like even if he does send me the headset to test, I've still got to spend at least £700 to even use it.
Tough.
So
And your index controllers are going to break a month later. So
I haven't even got any index controllers. So,
Oh man.
but
Mine
yeah.
are taped together.
Well,
right
here's the
now.
other thing though, too. PlayStation VR, you had to be positioned in front of your camera. in order to get any kind of tracking. So like you have to be facing your TV, which means the cable is running behind you and then forward again. Whereas now I can turn around and have my cable facing my console and like get rid of that awkwardness from having to like turn and face the TV screen. So the inside out tracking, I think, is going to go a long way there.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, I remember going around my uncle's once and he had a really strange setup of a front room for his TV was. His TV was sort of in the corner, facing outwards. It was like a prime angle for TV, but using his PSVR, it wasn't ideal that way. And I think because the setup said, put the camera on top or below your TV, he took that as gospel. And I was like, dude, you can fucking put this anywhere. Like, you don't have to face your TV because you can't see the bloody TV in the headset. And
you don't, but the camera cable really only allows you to get it to that point, you know, unless you buy like some crazy extender that's like 10 or 15 feet extra feet.
Whatever he did, he moved it.
And
it was fine, you know. He had a lot more room. But yeah, all good stuff. Not long now for everyone.
Can't wait.
Long now.
So excited. Can't wait. It has reignited the fire. There's like a good year there where I have just been spending less and less time in the headset playing games, and now I have a feeling I'm going to get addicted.
I think it has a knock-on effect as well. Like we've been talking about Ghost of Tabor for ages, because you're all excited about not just PSVR 2. You're excited about games, you know, potential of games, what they're going to bring. What's this game like coming to PSVR 2? You know what I mean? Like developers now have another platform to make money. You know. Yeah, it's just all it's all positive, and maybe not this year, maybe not next year, you never know, but eventually VR will get that mainstream attention, you know, and I just can't see it being big screen, unfortunately.
What's your guys' okay, so think about it this way. I just want to ask this question because I think we're wrapping up soon, right?
I don't know how many times I've said goodbye on this show and we don't stop.
it's that good though.
Yeah.
So Quest 2 sold like around 15 million units, and that's not really mainstream enough for Meta yet. So what do you all think is the number to hit mainstream, and when do you think we'll actually hit that number? What year?
Oh
boy.
I would say, you know, conservatively, I would want any gaming context. Now, I'm not really speaking on Meta specifically, but in a gaming context, you'd like to see at least around 25% of gamers being playing in VR to really kind of have that mainstream presence. So what is that? That would probably be what, 30 to 40 million?
I think it's
I don't know when.
I would think it's around 25 million to be considered that mainstream context. And to be honest, and not that I'm shitting on it, I don't think PSVR 2 is going to achieve that. I think
oh no,
I think it's going to be kind of a repeat of the first gen, maybe a bit more popular.
You hit 10.
I think Quest 10, right? I think Quest 3's got the potential.
Well, the PlayStation VR 1 was so damn easy to get into because everybody had a PS4.
Oh, dude.
Like I imagine that the install base of the PS4 was exponentially higher at the time that PSVR came out.
It was because they'd already done a pro version about 2 months later. So that's like a mid-gen refresh. So you're already halfway through the life cycle of a console. There must have been millions, like 50, 60, 70 million or something.
But what's our number overall platforms though? So you're talking like gamers, you know, being at 25, 30 million. So what if we add them all together? I mean, I remember when Quest 2 came out, Meta had said, we want to hit 10 million. That was their number, right? That they was like, we want to hit, you know, 10 to 12 million. And that's, you know, where we think it gets to mass adoption. You know, now we're at probably over 15 million. But if you add all them together, I mean, the numbers going to look a lot better.
Well, let's do the math. So we've got 15 million Quest users plus 5 million PlayStation VR users, and they're totally different. Nobody has both, right? And then if you add in PC VR, that's 20 million plus, so like 20 million and, you know, 3,000, something like that, about 3,000 PCVR users out there, right?
So, yeah, right. So what do you think the active users are? Because that's the question. It's not always about who's buying it, it's who's still using it.
Well, that's what Bowl said. He said 25 million sold headsets or active players. How many headsets? That's the thing about the Quest. I know that out of those 15, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. Out of those 15 million people, I reckon 5 million of those aren't turned on today. They're like
Right.
Christmas
Well,
presents that
Mhm.
were great on, for the month, and then they're under the bed somewhere, and like.
Well, what Alex said is true about like his specific situation. This is somebody that's in the VR world, and this is everything he does. And he had stopped; it hasn't been playing as much. I'm the same way. And the games, the experiences, they're the Quest brought a lot of mass adoption, but it brought a lot of like very shallow games. And I'm sorry, most gamers want real games. They want actual fun. They want Light Brigade. They want a reason to go back into the headset. And being in the world isn't enough anymore. I can't climb any
just
more
gonna
fucking
say-
ladders, man. I don't want to climb a ladder in a game. Don't make that the reason I'm going in. I want that one more. I want to get out of the headset and I want to be thinking about the game. And there's not many games in VR I can say that about.
I
So,
played a game today, privately testing, and it was like whenever I first got into VR, PSVR spoiled me, I think, a little bit because the games were actually decent video games in VR. And then as the life cycle went on, there was a game called Rage Room. And it was my first real taste of this game was made because it was like, oh, it's VR. Like you can just suddenly I don't know, a very minute good idea can seem a brilliant one because it's in virtual reality, right? And I didn't fall for it personally. Whoever invested in them to make it did. It was bollocks. I fucking hated it. I think some YouTubers probably made some amazing videos of beating the shit out of things and overreacted, and maybe that gave them more strength to think, yeah, this is great. It was trash. It was terrible for me personally. And I played a game even now, 2023, and I was like, just because it's in VR doesn't make it. It doesn't need to exist.
it can make
Yeah.
a game worse. If the game is shit, it makes it worse.
Well-
But it's the flip side. If a game's good, VR will make it amazing, or can make it amazing.
It
If
can.
it's a good
That's right.
game.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. it
Well, and
can.
there's one more point I want to make here, and like on the flip side of that, a shit game can be amazing if you're doing it with the right people, and community and like being able to connect with your friends is one of the things that makes so many games out there successful. Case in point, like Fortnite, not the best game in the entire world, but it was free to play and it was cross-platform being the biggest point, in my opinion. I mean, both of them together made that game a smash hit. But on PlayStation VR 1, there was nothing that was cross-platform except for Zero Caliber, but that was too little, way too late. Like I was like praying, looking for any game on the PlayStation VR that would be cross-platform to the PC community, so that way I could connect with that audience. And I can name 5 or 6 games just off the top of my head that I know that are going to PlayStation VR 2 right now that are fully cross-platform with their other versions. And I
Yeah.
think that is huge and will make a huge impact in terms of like the retention of the people who are playing those games.
Yeah, like
Because if I
after
can
the
play
fall.
Demio with my friends on the Quest, or After the Fall with my friends on their
Yeah.
Quest, that's massive, dude. That is absolutely massive. Like I don't think there's enough props being thrown to the developers and to PlayStation for making sure that that's happening.
Yeah, and I also like literally there's been a bit of a format mini argument going on. I still think it's incredible what standalone VR is, and I do strongly believe that standalone VR, maybe not as it is now, is how it works in the future. An XR device that is standalone is when mass adoption, I think, happens. But what do you think, Brad? Because I know you're you're the ultimate guy here. You go, you're talking shit, GT. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think the best for these huge players, the people that lead these companies like Meta, the volumes that they're getting right now really don't get them out of bed in the morning. Like honestly, like they want those red bars for their revenue, or I should say, they want the green bars for the revenue to heavily outweigh the amount of R&D they're spending, and they're not close to that at all yet. So I think it's more fun to think about when finally Meta will actually get profitable doing this sort of work instead of being more of a, like, honestly, kind of like a charitable
Do you think they quit?
player.
Do you think they'll quit?
Uh,
I mean,
Well,
why are they doing
here's
it? 'Cause
my-
this is I can't help but think whenever I hear anyone trash Quest, it's literally carried VR because it
Yeah.
brought PC VR to people. It fucking delivered shit at a stupid price, which has done
Right.
some bad as well because people's expectations are all over the place. So
Well, I think the question, I'm nervous because I think Meta's really, they're wanting to get to that green bar as fast as possible, and they're kind of doing certain things in their hardware pivots and design to get there faster, even when a lot of these things are not probably ready yet. And it's because they are such a large company and they want to get console numbers out of what they're getting.
yeah,
But I want to talk about the one leak that I think also came out this week. I know we talked a lot, but the Assassin's Creed Nexus thing, there was
Yeah.
it was released that it's almost done, and they're thinking about doing a sequel, and that sequel probably would be multi-platform, not just Quest. But even in that article, they said midway through development of this game by Ubisoft, Meta stopped funding this
Wow.
game's development, like midway. So they didn't even really have to do exclusive for this first title. They're basically doing it right now because they're already so far in the project and pretty much made it
it's
for
all or
Quest 2.
nothing kind of thing. Yeah,
Right. So I'm
All in.
thinking like, okay, so Meta is not really excited about the gaming side of things anymore. And you see these pivots. If they're not right about these other use cases right away, like will they continue doing, like, I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
Well,
to
I
think
mean,
about.
if you've ever played poker, you know that there's a strategy where you bet big to try to push the other guys off the table. But at a certain point, when a certain amount of your stacks on the middle of the table, you can't back out. You have to go all in. And I think Meta's getting close to that point now where they've invested so much, they can't really get out. You know, they can cut costs and start making smaller bets. But you know, they have to bet every time it goes around.
dude, that's fucking an excellent way of putting it. To be honest,
Mhm.
you know, if
That's
there was a-
Great analogy, gotta
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
or
you can-
metaphor. I
you
don't
can
know
see
which
it.
one
Yeah,
was.
metaphor. I think you can see it. Do you know what I mean? You can see that. I'm just so pleased. Like, there's no real downness on this now, regardless of what anyone outside. Because I know they gave a lot of VR headsets to just random tech channels and stuff. You know, outside the community, which is a real shame. Whatever they come back with, it's going to do nothing but good for VR. You know, that's the main thing. Suddenly, it's going to be a lot of hashtags, a lot of interest, and I can't wait for when things like what happened on the original, where you talk to someone and they're like, "You can fucking play Resident Evil 8 in VR." You're like, "Yeah, dude. Like, you just need this fucking headset. How much is it? It's £500, whatever it is." And I know that sounds, but when they describe what it does, I think that's when people get wowed by stuff and they're like, shit, I need to try that. So I really hope they do what they did before, where they had like demo stations. They did some really good content. They did Resident Evil 7 was a great one for them to show people because it led to like, not memes then. I don't think memes were really a thing too much back then, but like clips of people hurting themselves, hitting themselves with the head with the controllers because they think they need to stop seeing and people screaming. And I think with the power of the name of PlayStation, it's going to be big, like in that way. I hope
A lot of people don't even know that it exists. I ask people randomly all the time, customers, you know, oh, are you excited about the PSVR 2? And they've got a PS5 sitting right there, and they're like, I don't even know that another headset
no
came out.
commercials. Why are there no
No,
commercials?
yeah,
Why
I thought
I thought we
we
would
would see one yesterday. I really did.
Yeah,
From
what the
some-
heck is up with that? Why aren't they marketing this? They're going to sell it without marketing it?
Because I don't-
Meta had one. Meta had a commercial during the Super Bowl.
I just don't know whether they. Is this another stab at another project? You know, is it that? Because they left it 7 years. They look, you know, but this is so different, really. Like, this has got proper controllers, not Move controllers. Like, they borrowed 10-year-old tech as controllers for PSVR, so it's probably a little bit less in there. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I just hope it does well. I hope it does. I hope it does really well.
We'll see some big streamers. Here's what you will see: some big, flat streamers that have millions of subscribers will probably stream some of this stuff, guaranteed.
Do you know
they're
what?
going to stream Resident Evil 8, or they're going to stream GT7, or something, and that'll make people know.
Yeah, I hope so, dude.
I agree.
Let me ask you this. So Gran Turismo 7 looks absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Like when I see footage from that, I'm like, oh my God. But
I know.
will people buy this for the first time, buy a PSVR 2, put it on, throw in Gran Turismo 7, get stupid motion sick from a racing game and return it or put it away and never use it again? Like that was really concerning me that this is such a major title that people are looking forward to, because driving games get people sick.
Well, yeah, and how are people going to react to reprojection? So yeah. Sorry, Wes.
Concern.
No, I was just going to say, I really don't think these casual gamers that you're talking about, they haven't really marketed to those people yet. Right now, they've pretty much been just marketing to us, the VR base, the people that had PSVR before. You can see it with the games that they've announced and with the way they've gone about it. I think we will see a shift from them probably later in the year, where they're going to bring out the Returnal VR, the God of War, or whatever that it is. That they haven't shown any of their first party cards yet, and I think there's multiple reasons for that. First of all, they're letting people get consoles in their hands. They really just hit full production with the console, less than 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And the second thing, a lot of people say that they've kind of just been holding their cards while they get this whole Microsoft antitrust thing behind them, because apparently this affects their case somehow if they show this completely healthy ecosystem and market without Call of Duty, then it weakens their case. All that's going to get resolved soon, and I think by the end of the year, when they need to compete with Meta, we'll start seeing some larger titles and start to see them go after the casuals a little bit more.
I was thinking the other day about you just touched on it and reminded me of it. I do wonder whether they didn't give a lot of access to VR content creators, the PSVR 2, because you're kind of a guaranteed sale.
Right.
If you go after these random, like iJustine, I don't know who this other guy was. There was just people never heard of, never seen him before.
I know, right?
A couple of them I know are tech. They are tech, mobile phones and stuff. It makes sense to go, their audience don't know anything about this. Do you know? And I kind of thought that was kind of maybe the angle that someone had behind that. I don't know, So,
Makes sense.
It does make, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does make sense. But guys, I've got to
That's
go
the
now.
2 hour mark. Yeah.
That is the 2 hour mark. That's it's time to go. But thank you to everyone in the chat for being with us. Like concurrently, we've had over 128 people here the whole show, which is absolutely insane. So thank you ever so much for making our time worth it. Really appreciate it. Thank you to all the lads in the chat. As I said, next week we've got the developer from Switchback joining us, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, he's going to be talking about that. Yeah,
I'm excited just for that. I don't care about hanging out with you guys. I just want to be there for him.
What the what?
He says so much shit, doesn't he? He wasn't even going to turn up today.
Dude,
Fuck that guy.
I'm in love with Tabor.
I hope your mash is lumpy, dude. I hope your mash is lumpy.
Oh no.
Don't put that on me. Don't you put that.
He's a smooth
You
and
put that
silky
anymore.
mash. I'm gonna continue to sing his praises until that Nintendo sweater's in my hands.
Right. Do you know,
Soon.
do you know,
Then you'll turn on him. Yeah.
nice, man. I don't like smooth mash.
No?
No. When I was in America, I saw the smoothest mash. It looked like ice cream. But don't roots.
Mrs. Mash loves smooth mash.
I bet she does. Right, that's it. We're all gone. Thank you ever so much for being here, guys. Take care of yourselves, everyone in chat. See you soon. Bye, 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 bye.